Welcome, and thank you for joining me for our Finding Balance during the challenge Hatha Yoga class. My name is Nicole, and I'll be facilitating this class for you tonight, where we'll focus on balancing postures. In yoga, we call the postures asanas. We'll focus on the balancing postures. We're at a time right now where we might be feeling out of balance physically, mentally, emotionally. And so practicing our balancing poses can not only help us on the physical level, but can also help us improve feeling balanced in the mind, in the emotions. Can help with concentration and focus as well. We'd like to have 2 blocks, which you see I have here. If you don't have blocks, you can use hardcover books. Just try to have them about the size of the blocks. We'll be using a strap tonight. If you don't have a strap, you can use any kind of belt that you might have at home. And then a folded blanket. So I'm sitting on the corner of the folded blanket. You might like to sit on the corner or the edge. This just helps us to open the hips and helps us to feel more length through the lower back. I also have tissues available because we will be doing some breathing techniques, so you might like to have tissues. I know they're a hot commodity right now, so you might have 1 or 2 of those nearby as well. Also keep in mind for balancing postures that some people like to have a chair next to them that they can just rest their hands on. Some people like to practice balancing poses near the wall. So just position yourself in the room, wherever you like to be, keeping in mind that we'll be focusing on poses for balancing. We'll start in a seated position. You could have one leg out or both legs out. You might like to have your legs crossed or one foot up on the opposite thigh or both feet up on opposite thighs. So just choose what feels best for you for your comfortable seated position. Make sure things are equal through the sits bones. And have a little wiggle around. Sit up tall. Relax the shoulders up, back, and down. You can shake out the elbows. Chins parallel to the floor. Crowns reaching to the sky. You might like palms facing down to feel a sense of stability, connecting to the earth. Or you might like to have palms facing up, possibly experiencing a sense of openness or receiving. So part of getting back into balance is tuning in to that inner voice. So just choose if you prefer palms down or palms up. We might like to close the eyes to begin, or just take a soft gaze at a focal or drishti point on the floor in front of us. Just beginning to notice the breath. Noticing if you're breathing through the nose or the mouth, if you're breathing high up in the chest. Taking it into our 3-part yogic breath, Dirgha Swasam, in and out through the nose if the passages are clear, because this calms the nervous system more. It purifies and humidifies the air when we breathe through the nose. In and out through the nose if the passages are clear, if not, honor the body. And as you inhale, feel the expansion through the midsection of the body. This is the first area. As you exhale, feel the contraction, maybe pulling the belly button slightly towards the spine. On the next breath in, feel the expansion through the midsection of the body, then feel the expansion through the chest and the rib cage, the second area of the 3-part breath. As you exhale, feel the release from top to bottom. On the next inhale, feel expansion through the midsection, through the chest, through the rib cage, and take the breath up to the base of the throat. As you exhale, feel the release from top to bottom. You might like to add ujjayi or ocean breath to this 3-part breath. Ocean breath is achieved by constricting the back muscles of the throat, the muscles that we use when we whisper or fog up a mirror. Only mouth is closed. This creates that friction sound, almost as if you're listening into that seashell at the ocean. Helps us to take an internal focus. Very good to use if you're feeling out of balance, physically, mentally, or emotionally. Helps us when we feel challenged. Throughout your practice, remember to honor the physical body. So if at any time you want to reposition the body or modify a posture or skip something, listen to the intelligence of the body in this moment. This is part of learning to come back to balance. Modifying whenever you need to, exploring that edge where you feel sensation or intensity, but never going over that edge into pain. Sometimes you might notice emotions come up or move through your practice. That's natural. Sometimes with balancing postures, the ego can come in and get a little judgy or a little frustrated. So just be that non-judgmental space for any emotion that might move through. You don't need to identify with it. Just come back to the breath. Any thoughts that come up, just let them float by like clouds in the sky. Bringing your awareness back to breath. You don't have to jump on that cloud of thought. And just honor any sounds the body needs to release. If you need to cough or sneeze or clear the throat. Honor any sounds in or outside the room. Just using this time to cultivate that non-judgmental, spacious awareness, that compassionate kindness towards yourself, to be wherever you are in this moment in all of our perfect imperfections. Setting our intention, focusing on an intention that's in connection to balance. It might be something like, every day in every way I am more balanced, or I am balanced in mind, body, and spirit. Use one given or create one on your own now and repeat that intention or sankalpa to yourself internally 3 times. We've been sitting for a little bit, so if you do want to reposition the body, if you'd like to switch a leg out or take one leg out, just listen to the intelligence of the body. As we center in a little bit more with the breath, we'll practice a balancing breath. So as you inhale, internally count to 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 1, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 1, 2. Continuing on your own for a few more breaths, inhaling to the count of 4, pausing for 2, exhaling to 4, pausing for 2. If that feels too long or too short for you, you can adjust it by 1 or 2 counts in either direction. Finishing on that last exhale, letting the breath be natural, 3-part breath. Blink those eyes open if they're closed, feeling centered in this moment, balanced in this moment. If the palms are down, take those palms up. Sweep the arms out and up, palms kiss at the top, gaze up at the hands. Exhale, follow the hands with the gaze to the heart center. Feel the right hand equal against the left. Again, balancing right and left, plugging the thumbs into the heart. Big circle on the inhale, gazing up at the hands. Exhale, follow the hands with the gaze down to the heart space. Taking it a few more times, really opening to that sense of balance. Balance between activity, movement, and stillness. Balance between up and down, right and left, male and female, light and dark, joy and pain, honoring both sides of the coin. Pausing with hands at heart. Lifting up that intention for balance as you inhale, lifting the hands, sending it out to the world. Palms coming down on the knees as you lower chin to chest on exhale. Inhale, rock the left ear to the left shoulder. Exhale, roll chin to chest. Inhale, rock right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Take it a few more times, side to side, just exploring sensation. Maybe there's been a lot of tension in this area. Finishing on that opposite side, letting chin gently rest to chest. Inhale, lift the chin, smiling if you like. Exhale, lowering the chin, saying yes to your intention. Yes to finding balance, even within the challenge, even within the chaos. Finishing as you come through center. Palms coming up, fingertips resting to the shoulders. Inhale, elbows forward, exhale them back. Just warming up through the shoulders, through the upper back, through the chest. Just feeling like that bird starting to spread your wings. Flying into this moment, letting go of past, letting go of future. Turn direction and honor when you have those moments that you feel like you're struggling with the same challenge, going backwards. It's part of your process. Slow it down and draw some soft circles for the wrists. Just might hear some sounds. Go both directions. And then any behaviors we've been out of balance with, feeling that struggle, maybe too much Netflix, maybe overeating or engaging in a little too much wine or something. Inhale, feel that struggle. Exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Releasing anything that's not in balance. Inhale, feel the struggle. Exhale. Maybe it's getting your alone time. Maybe you're quarantined with a lot of people and you need some balance of alone time. Shake it off. Whatever you're sitting on, you can remove now and just place off to the side. Extending those legs, giving them a shake. Just drawing some circles for the ankles. Both directions. Lean back to the hands, bend one knee and then the other knee. Let those knees drop over to that left side as you exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale over to the right side. Inhale to center. Take a few side to side. We were sitting for a bit, so those hips might be communicating that they're out of balance. As you bring it back through center, finishing on the opposite side, you might cross the legs to walk the hands forward into table, or you might swing the legs out and around into table. You might like to put the blanket underneath the knees here for extra cushion. I have a double mat, so mine feel pretty comfortable. Have the knees just underneath the hips, hip distance apart, tops of the feet can rest to the earth, or toes could curl under if that's better. Hands can be just slightly above or under the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Middle fingers point to the top of the mat. Make sure that there's a little bend in the elbows so that you're not locking out. Insides or eyes of the elbows line up with the thumbs or point in towards one another. Coming into a strong, sturdy table here. Lift the tail, let the belly drop, take the gaze up as you inhale for cow. Let the movement originate from the tail, round the spine, let the crown move to the earth for cat. Inhale as you lift the tail, gaze up, relax the shoulders back. Exhale as you round into cat. Flow a few more times, matching breath with movement. If the wrists start to bother you, you could take it to fists, or you could walk your hands up a little bit higher, or you could take it down to elbows and forearms. Finish on the exhale, bring it to neutral. Keep those toes curled under and just walk your hands back to stretch out through the toes. You could take the little pinky toes out a little bit here. And then as you walk forward, uncurl the toes, tap it out. And then pick up the feet and roll out those ankles again. Working with balancing will really be strengthening through those ankles. This body's been having some challenges with a little issue with a bone spur in the foot, so one side for me will be a little more challenging. Honor your body. We all have our own unique challenges. Now from table, we move into balancing, extending that right leg long, lifting if it's available, flexing the foot, keeping the leg parallel to the floor. Extending opposite arm, reaching through the fingertips, reaching through the heel. If you like to bend the knee and reach back for the foot, pressing the foot into the hand, you could add that, or just keep it long. You might use that ocean breath, that ujjayi breath. Excellent. Bring it back long if you've been holding the foot and release it to the earth. Extend that other leg. You could touch down with the foot or lift the leg. Taking the opposite arm, reach through the fingertips, extend through the heel. You might bend the knee and reach back, pressing that foot into the hand. You might just keep it long. Soften the jaw. Release that foot, extend it long, bring it back to the earth. Walk those hands up a little higher, take the knees a little wider, and draw your circles for the hips, small or large, back up, over, and around. You might hear pops or sounds. Go both directions, creating that balance. Whatever we do on one side, we'll do on the other side. As you bring it back through center, taking those knees back underneath, lowering down to the elbows and forearms, roll out the wrists. Taking it back up to hands, curl the toes under, walk the hands back towards the feet. Straighten the legs, but keep a soft bend in the knees. Bring the arms out to T, and on an inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower the arms. And find your way towards the top of your mat. Check that the feet aren't wider than the hips. Pick up the toes and settle them down. Pick up the heels and settle them down. Feel like that blade of grass blowing in the breeze, forward and back and side to side, and find your center. Knowing that you can hydrate at any time throughout our practice. Imagine you have roots going down through the feet into the earth. Feel the feet sinking into the earth. Imagine you could pull the feet away from one another, stretching that little piece of yoga mat between the feet. Tighten the tops of the legs, feel the kneecaps lift. Lengthen through the lower back. Draw that intention for balance all the way up through the legs and along the spine. Inhale the shoulders up, exhale them back and down. Feel that balance coming through the arms, pooling in the palms of the hands, can face forward or towards the body. Chins parallel to the floor, crowns reaching to the sky. Breathing in Mountain Tadasana. Coming in for a few rounds of modified sun salutation, Surya Namaskara, Surya Sun Namaskar, to honoring that life force energy that never asks for a thank you card. Letting our giving be like the sun. Inhale, exhale. Next breath in, cross the hands, bend the knees, big circle with the arms, palms kiss at the top. Exhale, hands to heart. Lock thumbs on an inhale, reach forward and up. Take a gentle back bend here, feel it behind the back of the heart. Exhale, release the hands and hinge from the hips into forward bend. Take the arms out to T on an inhale, rise up, palms face. Bend the knees as you sit back into chair. Take the palms down, float the arms all the way back behind. And then come up for balancing chair, coming up onto the tips of the toes. You might notice some shaking here. Lift those heels. Good, lower those heels as you inhale, rise up, palms kiss at the top, gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to heart, and release. Finding your way back into mountain. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, big circle. Exhale, hands to heart. Lock thumbs, inhale up. Gentle back bend, feel it behind the back of the heart. Release the hands as you exhale, hinge from the hips, take it to forward bend. Generous bend in the knees, head hangs like a ripe piece of fruit. Arms out at T on an inhale, rise up, palms face at the top. Bend the knees as you sink into chair. Floating those palms down, arms back behind you, come up on the tips of the toes, balancing chair. Lower those heels, inhale, rise up, gentle back bend. Exhale, hands to heart. And release. Taking a moment in mountain pose to absorb the benefits. From mountain pose, we'll flow those arms all the way up, palms face. Bending the knees, sitting back into our chair, making sure the knees aren't overextending the toes. Shifting all of that weight into that left leg. We can take those arms down and rest hands to hips, inviting that right ankle to the left knee as we come into figure four. Keeping it here for balance, or maybe lowering elbows down, resting one on the knee, one on the ankle. Breathing. Slowly come up, hands at heart. Let that leg slide down and out. Back to mountain. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit back in chair. Shift all that weight down through that right side. Slowly bring hands to hips. Take that left ankle just to above the knee. Figure 4. You could bend that knee of the stationary leg and lower it down a little more, bringing elbows to rest to knee and ankle. Hold a drishti, a point that's not moving. Slowly come on up on an inhale. Release the leg. Release the arms. Heel toe the feet a little wider. Circle those hips. Go both directions. You might notice you hold your breath when you're balancing. You want to keep that breath flowing smooth. Bring it back through center, heel toe, the feet together. From the center of the mat, taking that left heel to the right toes, like you're on a balancing beam or a tightrope. Taking those arms up to T on an inhale. Exhale, turn the chest to the right side. Breathing. Relax the jaw. Inhale to center. Exhale, turn the chest to the other side. Breathing. Inhale to center. Keep the legs as they are. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale. As you exhale, hinge forward. You might notice here how the toes have turned out to try to compensate. You could put things back in alignment. Maybe fold a little further. Really breathing. Inhale, rise up. Excellent. Release. We all come in and out of balance. If we come out, we bring it back in. Roll out the ankles. Another movement that can feel nice is to take the ball of the foot to the floor, draw the knees side to side. Taking it on the other side now, bringing that right heel to the tip of the left toes, on your balancing beam, on your tightrope. Inhale, arms to T. Exhale, turn the chest to that left side. Breathing here. Chin parallel. Slowly inhale to center. As you exhale, turn the chest now to the other side. Stay with breath. Come back to center on the inhale. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hinge from the hips. See how those toes have turned out to try to compensate, put things in alignment, hinging a little further. Slowly inhale, rise up. Release the legs, roll it out, and shake it out. Excellent. Hydrating if you'd like. Placing your blocks at the top of the mat. Standing at the top of the mat with strong mountain legs. Resting hands to hips. Take a step back with that right foot. Keep it slightly over to the right side. Angle those back toes slightly forward, hips are forward. Bend the front knee without overextending past the toes, so knees just stacked above ankle. Shoulders and hips are forward. Circle those arms on an inhale, palms face at the top, soft bend in the elbows. Breathing in warrior one. Really open that chest as you exhale. Draw those shoulder blades back towards one another. Let those hands find their way to the hips. And then slowly pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Balancing here in a lunge. Reach those arms up. Palms kiss at the top. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, and as you exhale, take that right elbow outside the left knee. Breathing. Slowly back to center. Bunny hop that back foot a little closer. Anchor down with that back foot. Straighten the front leg. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, hinge from the hips. As you come into pyramid pose, you might rest hands to blocks. Some of you might have proportion where you like to rest the hands right on the floor. This body has a long torso and short arms, so I like to use the blocks. Putting a deeper bend in the front knee, walking the blocks forward, straightening the front leg without locking completely, and lifting the back leg parallel to the floor, flexing the foot, coming into warrior three. Keeping hands at blocks or at heart or out into Wonder Woman or Superman. You can always keep it to blocks. Walk the hands or blocks up a little higher. Shift the energy down through the stationary leg and rise up through the top leg, coming into standing split. Encourage the upper body towards the stationary leg. Let that back leg come forward to meet its friend. Arms out at T, rise up, palms kiss, exhale, hands to heart, then release. Roll out the ankles or stretch back the toes. Develop those strong mountain legs at the top of the mat. Hands to hips, step back with that left foot. Keep the hips and shoulders forward. Bend the front knee. Big circle on the inhale. Palms face, soft bend in the elbows. Breathing in warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Our standing poses cultivate stability and strength, helping us to ease into those balancing postures. Open the heart as you exhale. Draw the shoulders blades back. Hands find their way to hips. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, exhale, take that left elbow outside the right knee. Twisted crescent lunge, breathing. Come back to center. Anchor down through the back foot, bunny hop it up a little, straighten the front leg, inhale, exhale, hinge. Here you might like those blocks, framing that front leg. Feel like the hips are being led back a little bit as you hinge forward. Bend the front knee, walking the blocks up a little higher, anchor down through that front leg, lift the back leg, flex the foot, keep the leg parallel to the floor, keeping it here for warrior three, maybe hands at heart, maybe arms out at T, wherever you choose. You might walk blocks up a little bit as you lift that back leg up, encouraging the upper body towards the stationary leg. And then let that back leg come forward to meet its friend. You can set blocks off to the side. Taking your forward bend. Step back with one foot and then the other. Hips up, come up on the tips of the toes. Exhale, lower the heels, have a deep bend in the knees. Downward dog. Shift down through the right leg. Lift the left. Lower it down. Anchor down. Lift. Lower it down. Bend the knees. Finding your glasses if they fell off. Taking a moment to find your strap. Swinging the legs out and around. As you come into staff pose, make sure things are equal through the sits bones. Bending the knees, heels to the floor. Taking the strap around the balls of the feet. This forces the feet into flexion, and it's safer for the feet than using the strap at the arch. Taking your gaze about halfway or 2/3 of the way up the wall in front of you as you come into boat Navasana. You may not be able to go on a cruise right now, but you can explore your own cruise in your own boat. From here, just balancing on the sits bones, lifting it up. Shins and calves parallel to the floor or straight in the legs. Connecting to breath. Bending the knees to come down. You can remove the strap or take your second round with the strap. It's up to you. With or without your life jacket. Take your hands just behind the knees. Lift the shins, calves parallel to the floor or straighten the legs, or take the arms out or row your boat, whichever you choose. Breathing. This is the cruise you've always wanted to go on, strengthening the core. Cultivating balance even within the challenge. Bring those hands back behind the knees, lower it down. Take the hands behind you, feet and knees a little wider. Exhale the knees to the side. Inhale to center, exhale to the side. Finishing on the opposite side. Finding your strap once more at the top of the mat. Having the blanket over on the right side. Extending the legs out once more. Let's give them a shake. Walk the hips back so things are equal through the sits bones. Flex the feet, engage the legs, feel the crown reaching tall to the ceiling. Having the strap waiting for you for if you choose to use it, just around the bottoms of the feet. Bending that right knee, letting it drop out to the side, resting the foot to the inside of the left leg. Now, if the knee falls to the floor, that's support there. If it's up a little bit, use the blanket underneath to give that support. Engaging the long leg, making sure hips are equal. You might need to invite that left hip back a little bit. Big circle on the inhale, reach up through the fingertips. As you exhale, take that left hand to the right knee, bring that other hand behind you. Inhale, sit tall and lengthen. Exhale, twist from the navel up. Last thing to turn is the head. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, come forward, reach those arms up. As you exhale, hinge from the hips. And when you feel sensation, you can take the strap around the ball of the foot once more. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, pull the strap towards you. Exhale, hinge from the hips, gaze to the toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Janu Shavasana, forward bend, calming the nervous system, aiding in digestion, helping with insomnia, all benefits that are reported from those that practice this pose. We can let the gaze fall to the knee and soften the shoulders a bit. As we hinge a little further, we might not use the strap, we might frame the leg with the arms. You're still keeping the foot flexed and engaged. Reach those hands beyond the foot. Inhale, rise up, anchor down through the leg. Exhale the arms, help the knee up, extend the leg out, and shake it out. Switch the blanket to the other side. Make sure those hips are equal on both sides. Engage the legs, flex the feet. Bend the left knee, let it drop out. You might put a little something underneath. Make sure the hips are equal. Big circle with the arms, lengthen through the fingertips as you inhale. Exhale, hinge. Coming up on an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take that right hand to the left knee, other arm behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, gazing behind that back shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Your spinal twist brings you to balance, calming or energizing, warming or cooling, whatever we need. Consider it a smart pose because it gives us what we need. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you release. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hinge from the hips. This time, fold all the way forward, taking the strap around the ball of the foot. Inhale, pull the strap towards you, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hinge, gaze to the toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. You can let the head fall to the knee. Can release the strap, continuing to inhale and lengthen, and exhale and hinge. We're all receiving the same benefits regardless of where we're hinging to. We only hinge to where we feel sensation, never pushing into pain. Being in balance, listening to this body in this moment. Engaging that leg, keeping the foot flexed, reaching the hands beyond the foot, anchoring down through the leg. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Inhale, help that knee up. Exhale, extend it out, shake it out. Keeping the blanket close to you in case you like to use that during your final integration, Yoga Nidra. You can remove the strap off to the side. Remembering if there's lower back issues, we'd like to have the feet on the floor, the knees up, using the hands, elbows, and forearms to guide ourselves down onto the mat. If there's no lower back issues, we could have the palms facing up and slowly roll it down. Once down, inviting the knees into the chest for a well-deserved hug. Maybe a little rock side to side. Lifting those arms and legs up to the sky, ankles over hips, wrists over shoulders, helping that circulation, letting the blood flow to where it doesn't usually get to go, helping with spider veins and varicose veins in the legs, rolling wrists and ankles. Moving into Ananda Balasana, happy baby, bending the knees, holding at the shins and calves, or latching the big toes with the peace fingers, rocking side to side. Babies are more in balance with their natural needs, sleeping when they need to sleep, eating when they need to eat, not eating emotionally or out of boredom. Being in tune and in balance with the earth. The earth is starting to come back to balance because we're coming back to balance instead of going, taking a break and letting Mother Earth heal. As we bring it back through center, releasing wherever we're holding, inviting ourselves into corpse pose, Shavasana. Again, creating that balance between movement and stillness. As we move into stillness now, into corpse pose, let those legs fall out a little wider. Arms out up to the sides, 4 to 6 inches away from the body. Palms can face up or towards the body. You can remove glasses if you wear those, turning the head gently side to side, releasing any tension in the neck. Making sure as you come through center that there's length in the back of the neck, that the chin's not jetting up towards the ceiling or too far down towards the chest. You might like a pillow behind the head. Just finding that balance between upper body and lower body, right side and left side, making any movements you need to make. Sighing it out a few times. Inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. Inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. Just let the breath express itself however you feel guided. Imagining yourself lying in that place wherever you feel most balanced. It might be in nature, it might be somewhere else, at your yoga studio or at your church. Imagining that soft breeze, bringing with it balance and harmony through the feet and the ankles, through the shins and the calves, deep into the knees. Relax and release any tension you're holding through the thighs and the glutes, through the midsection of the body, through the heart space, the shoulders, down the arms. That sense of harmony and balance in the palms of the hands as you relax the hands even more, letting go of that false sense of control. Relax the hands even more. That sense of harmony and balance through the throat. You might swallow or clear the throat. Stretching the jaw a little bit as that soft breeze, that balance blows over the muscles in the face, softening the eyes and behind the eyes. Maybe we judge harshly through the eyes and the senses, coming back to balance. Softening through the forehead. Maybe we're too much in the mind. And we need to just take more moments of non-mental states. Coming through the crown of the head, connecting you to that higher power of your understanding, whatever that means for you, spiritually or scientific. Taking a few moments, reconnected in oneness, remembering your true nature, which is always in balance, which is always peace, which you can always choose. Without moving the body, just feeling the earth beneath you, behind the head, beneath the shoulders, behind the hands, beneath the spine, behind the heels. And just release to Mother Earth anything that's out of balance, knowing it will be recycled. Feel the lightness of the sky above you. Release any worries or concerns that are bringing you out of balance to Father Sky, letting it blow away on the breeze. Gently move the fingers and toes, feeling gratitude for this body, choosing to be more in balance with our diet, with our sleep schedule, with our exercise and yoga practice, with the amount of time that we're on our devices versus engaging in other activities. Start to stretch and move the body however you feel guided. You might sigh it out. Maybe dropping the knees side to side. Maybe hugging them into the chest. Finding your way onto the right side unless the right feels wrong, and then rolling to the left side. Just resting here for a moment as I read a poem quote for you. This was read by Charlie Chaplin at age 70, written by Kim McMillan. As I began to love myself, I found that anguish and emotional suffering are only warning signs that I was living against my own truth. Today, I know this is authenticity. As I began to love myself, I understood how much it can offend somebody if I try to force my desires on them, even though I knew the time was not right and the person was not ready for it, and even though this person was me. Today, I call this respect. As I began to love myself, I stopped craving for a different life, and I could see that everything that surrounded me was inviting me to grow. Today, I call this maturity. As I began to love myself, I understood that at any circumstance, I am in the right place at the right time, and everything happens at exactly the right moment, so I can be calm. Today, I call this self-confidence. As I began to love myself, I quit stealing my own time, and I stopped designing huge projects for the future. Now I only do what brings me joy and happiness, things I love to do that make my heart cheer. I do them in my own way and in my own rhythm. Today, I call this simplicity. As I began to love myself, I freed myself of anything that was not good for my health, food, people, things, situation, and everything that drew me down and away from myself. At first, I called this attitude a healthy egoism. Today, I know it as love of oneself. And as I began to love myself, I quit trying to always be right, and ever since I was wrong less of the time. Today, I discovered this is modesty. As I began to love myself, I refused to go on living in the past, and I refused to go on worrying about the future. Now I live for this moment where everything is happening. I live each day, day by day, and I call it fulfillment. As I began to love myself, I recognized that my mind can disturb me and can make me sick. But as I connect to my heart, my mind becomes a valuable ally. Today I call this connection the wisdom of the heart. We no longer need to fear arguments, confrontations, or any kind of problems with ourselves or others. Even stars collide, and out of their crashing, new worlds are born. Today I know this is life. Using the top hand and the top leg to help yourself up to seated, finding a comfortable seated position. Using that blanket once more. Finding your tissue if you have one, if you need one, for our final breathing technique and meditation. Choosing that comfortable seated position, one leg out or both legs out. Making sure things are equal through the sits bones. Taking the right hand and just bringing the peace fingers to rest on the cushy part of the thumb, leaving the ring and the pinky and the thumb out, and just letting those peace fingers rest on that cushy part of the thumb. Practicing alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Suddhi or Nadi Shodhana, to balance the right and left hemispheres of the brain. This is an excellent breathing technique to use in between tasks to help us reset, and it's just wonderful again for balancing and having a sense of clarity and harmony. We'll apply the 3-part breath as we practice this. Inhale, taking the thumb, close off the right nostril. Exhale, out the left. Inhale through the left. Take the ring and pinky finger, close off the left, and exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Close it off and exhale. And inhale. And close and exhale. Inhale. Close with the thumb, exhale. Inhale. Close with ring and pinky, exhale. Inhale. Continue side to side, going at your own pace. Applying that 3-part breath. You might hear some whistling or stuffiness. That's okay. Just never pushing through if there's too much congestion. Whenever you get to the right side and you exhale, finishing there. Releasing the hand, palms facing up or down, inhaling. Feeling that sense of clarity, balance and harmony. Repeating your intention, your sankalpa, to yourself internally 3 times, knowing it will continue to manifest. It may have been, I am balanced in mind, body, spirit. Every day, in every way, I become more balanced, or something else that you created on your own. Blinking the eyes, open into a soft gaze, turning the palms up if they're down, sweeping the arms out and up on an inhale, palms kiss at the top. Exhale as you bring hands to the heart center, feeling the right hand equal against the left, honoring those dualities, honoring profit and loss, success and failure, birth and death, remembering life is eternal. Life is honoring both sides of the coin without aversion or attachment. Honoring yourselves for making this commitment to bring yourself back to balance, even in challenging times, both on and off your yoga mats. Thanking you for sharing your practice with me. The light, the love, the peace in me honors the same in you. When we're there together, we are one, not me but you. We bow if we like. We say namaste. Namaste.